What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the In the Round podcast. Been a few weeks. We've been busy. A lot of shit going on here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm your host, Matt Burrill. Today we've got a really cool one. One I've been wanting to do for a while just because it's like everybody's got that crazy uncle, and this guy's kind of like my crazy older brother uncle that I've gotten to know a lot. Exactly a year ago, I actually met him, and we'll get into that story a little bit later on into this. But got to tell you guys about our sponsors real quick. Whaletale Media, the content kings here in Nashville, Tennessee. Make sure you guys check them out, whaletale.com. Our partners here with In the Round from the get-go. We love whales and Beezy and Gracie and the whole crew over there, so check them out, whaletale.com. Saxman Studios, our studio partner, Grady, Grant, Will, Tim. I'm trying to think. They got so many folks over there. Dylan, that absolutely crush it. So make sure you guys check them out. You're looking for a place to record here in Nashville, Tennessee. Saxman Studios, a great place to check out. Visit them at saxmanstudios.com. And then last but certainly not least, our friends in the green world, Trailside CBD Emporium, Delta 8 THC. We give out pre-rolls at our rounds now, and it is all legal. It gets you high. The shit works. It's awesome. We love it, and we know you'll love it too. Check them out, trailsidecbd.com. Use the promo code ITR, and you can save 20%. And, of course, if you guys like the episode today, which I know you will, today's going to be fucking hilarious. I don't know what's going to be said. I'm very much looking forward to it with our good buddy, Mr. Terry Adams. You guys make sure to leave 5 stars, leave a review, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your uncle, tell whoever about the In the Round podcast. We'd appreciate it very much. Now we're going to get into it with one of my best buddies, a guy that still lives in Alabama but is up here in Nashville, Tennessee, because he is working on his new project. We're very, very excited about it. Y'all are going to love this one with Mr. Terry BDT Adams. This is the In the Round podcast. So, Terry, how the fuck are you doing, bud?
Oh, dude, I'm living the dream, man. This is like the top 10,000 things I wanted to be doing today. It's pretty cool. It's like,
well, you talk about living the dream. You've been doing music for a long fucking time. I've only known you for a year. I've only known about you for probably like a year and like 3 weeks because I first found out about you, Matt, Alex, like the whole, like the Bama crew through having Trey Lewis on the podcast when all the DDID stuff started, and he was talking about how he has his band that he's had for a long time and wild stories and all kinds of fun stuff. And of course I get to know you, and we've been now good buddies for about a year. You almost killed me one night.
That was one time. That wasn't your fault, okay?
That wasn't my fault.
I'll leave that person out. But.
Yeah, we will leave that person out. But dude, so you're up here in Nashville right now. You've been coming up here for years, but working on a solo project.
Yeah, I'm doing an EP, and we did all the tracking today, and it was fun. Those guys can play, so I'm just honored they're letting me sing my own songs.
Yeah, dude. And you're recording it with another mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, Ben Miller.
And so how did that all come to be? Because I think I remember the conversations. Like you've been talking about it for a while. You've obviously put out solo stuff. You've had music out there. You've been in bands, done all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How did it come to be where Ben was going to record the project?
Well, me and Ben had written together over Facebook like 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, we
long hair Ben Miller.
Yeah, long hair. He was playing with Riley, and we had met and run into each other at shows, and He messaged me one day or something, said he liked my songs and stuff, and I was like, well, hey, I got all these I haven't finished, and we just started writing them together. And then when he joined the band, just in the van, Trey would play my songs, and he liked Whole Lot of Nothing, and we started talking about it, just saying I wanted to record, and it just, one day he was like, hey, let's do it, and which I couldn't have done it, on my own. So Trey's a big part why we're doing this. He's taking care of it, which I'm very grateful because nobody does that.
Yeah.
So, but Ben hired a bunch of guys, his friends, and Gideon and Gabe Klein at Shuffle Brothers Studios, and was at Gallatin, and Gideon Bowley and Ben Miller playing guitar, Ben producing, Ethan Barrett engineering. Noel Bassisti playing drums, and then Gideon and Gabe playing violin, organ, Rhodes,
Yeah, because
piano.
that's the thing. People are going to think this is a guitar player in for a country act. He's going to be playing country music, but your shit is. I don't even know if I could put it in a genre because you've got so many different influences, and you've got the rock background, you've got the blues background, you've got the soul. You're a piano guy. Like there's going to be all kinds of different cool things going on in the project.
Yeah, I think Matt McElwain went with me today, and we stayed there all day, and it's kind of a good mixture. It does have some country flair to it. Playing country for so long, I think you kind of add it to it, But it does have the rock, the Black Crowes influence, the Leon Russell, the weird timing because I can't play any better, which luckily I'm not playing on this. I'm just singing, which that's rough too, but it's better than me playing guitar on it. When you got Ben and I think maybe even Dave Elder's going to come in and do some stuff on it. So like 3, 4, 5 badass guitar players and pedal steel. I mean, I was really happy today. It's probably been the first project recording wise that after we've done it, I've been like, oh man. My 30 monthly listeners might go up a little bit on Spotify.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sure it will. So going back, so you're from Birmingham, a common place in music that a lot of folks have heard about. If you're a fan of country music in the South, or just country music in general, Birmingham is a town that gets mentioned in a lot of songs. And it's not just country music, all kinds of music. So for you, when did music become a thing?
I started, I told my mom when I was 5 years old, I had this little cheap piano, like a toy, it's plastic. And I came in there. My mom sang in a band. My stepdad is a great drummer, played with a lot of big time people. He's a studio musician. And, but when I was 5, I came in and had this song. It was terrible. It didn't even make sense, but I wrote it. My mom put it in this little frame thing and we still have it. But I told him at 5, I was like, I want to write songs. It was a way. I was an angry child, and so that was a way of coping. I didn't know how to play an instrument yet. I wanted to be a drummer at first, and
well, that's a way to get the anger out. Boom, boom,
oh yeah.
boom.
But if you see me play drums, you realize why I quit that.
Yeah.
And then I started playing piano, and I really liked it. But for everything I was doing growing up, guitar was always that was kind of cool, So I was around music. My mom played in bands. My stepdad played in bands. My dad and stepmom made sure they bought me instruments and, so I was always around it. And to me, it was only I didn't go to therapy, so it was my outlet to get out my anger and frustration. And so I was always around it. And that's the only thing I ever wanted to do. All through school, I told every teacher in every grade, I'm going to be a songwriter and musician. And most of them said I wouldn't, but it worked out so far. Yeah.
So for you, when was your first gig, either doing the solo thing or playing in somebody's band?
No, the first real gig I ever had. I would sit in with my mom's band. She started taking me to bars with her when I was a kid, and they let me sing or play around. And first job I ever got, a band came through North Alabama, and they were a rockabilly band, played like Elvis and Rocky Top Tennessee, stuff like that. And they were called the Martini Shakers, and they still play, but their drummer couldn't make it. So they hired me. And everything they play is a shuffle. I didn't even know what a shuffle was. So I went in that night at 14 years old, asked my stepdad what a shuffle was. He showed me, and I went and just butchered their gig. They paid me, but I played 4 hours with them.
Oh, wow. So your first of many 4-hour gigs.
Oh, yeah. And that began, I did it. When I could, when you're 14, 15, 16, you can't get into a lot of the places. And so I would do it whenever I could, or places that would let me play. And I played drums with some church guys, growing up, and then started playing guitar. A guy named Bo Bristow, who lives in Nashville now. When I was, I think a teenager, he said, hey, man, why don't you try this? And he started showing me how to play chords, and he was a great guitar player. Went to Belmont, and still a great guitar player, but he wrote songs, and I was like, man, I'm going to be like this guy. And he was in that Christian band, and all those guys were always pushing me, showing me stuff, saying, hey, write songs, keep writing, and I did. So I did that for a little while, and then I started doing the little songwriter things when I was a teenager and playing around. But when I was late teens, or early 20s, I started my own rock band. And It was called 4 Years Wasted, and it was me and my brother and my two cousins who were brothers. And we did that for a few years and recorded an album and got to play some cool shows and do some cool things, but that broke up, and I quit for a couple of years.
What was that experience of touring like versus now when you're in your 30s and you're doing, now you fast forward to X amount of years. What's the touring experience now like compared to what it was like then? What's the difference?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I wasn't, I didn't follow all the rules. I still don't, I'm pretty wild, but back then I did just a lot of stupid shit, so.
No, but I'm saying just in general, like logistically wise, like was that like hard? Was that like the stereotypical like van rock?
Yeah, that
van
was
SUV rock
going
touring,
to gigs. Like literally, we framed it. We have it at my mom's house in the dining room, which is all music and pictures of people that's played, and we literally made $11. Our first show, we played this place that's no longer there in Dothan. I won't name the names, but they follow me on Instagram, but. They had a place in Dothan, and we show up and we play, and literally we made $11. And we had a sound man, we had all that.
You had expenses.
We rented a van,
Oh,
about died on the way there, about wrecked, and got there and played, and we thought we killed it. I've watched it on YouTube, and it was shit, but at the time we thought we killed it, and we made $11, so we didn't even spend it. We just framed it. And so it was like you play a show just hoping you made enough money to get back.
You're literally doing it because you love it.
That's it.
Where was the farthest places you went with that band?
I mean,
like outside of Alabama, or was it pretty southeast?
Yeah,
regional?
it was. Yeah, it wasn't. That band wasn't. We didn't know how to do anything marketing. We didn't know anybody anywhere else, and really we were scared to take any big chances. We were young. Our bass player when we started was like 11 years old.
Wow.
And his brother was 14, Caleb and Taylor. And so they were in school, and I was being an idiot and probably corrupting them. And but we didn't do too much, like, far off. I've been around, like, I went around playing, with other bands and stuff, traveled, been, South Dakota and all the cool stuff. Like, I mean, everybody in the band pretty much has done that. Matt's done it with other people. And, but those aren't, even with Trey, like even before Dick down in Dallas, we always just had fun together.
Yeah.
Like you said, me and you wanted to kill each other one time. Me and Trey in 8 years have only wanted to kill each other one time. Like it almost came to like.
Which is very impressive.
Yeah. But we're both pretty blunt people too.
Yes.
So we'll say, hey, fuck off, man. And he can say it to me and we don't get mad.
Yeah.
We harass each other.
Now, Trey tells the story on stage every night when he introduces you. And that talks about open mic night, Birmingham. So do you remember that night? That wasn't your first time going to that open mic, right?
It was.
Was it actually your first?
I'd quit playing for like 2 years. I just didn't care about the politics anymore, the clickiness of music. I just wanted to write because I like writing music. I didn't give a shit if it was successful, I just wanted to write.
It was your free therapy.
Yeah, and I mean, then I got caught up with writing, coming to different cities and writing for people, and it was more of a game or a be this or be that. And I was like, I don't care about that, man. I just want to write songs. And so I didn't play anywhere for like 2 years. And David Hill, who's a friend of Trey's and mine, kept telling me, hey, man, I love your songs. You're a good writer. You need to get out. And I was like, I don't care about that. I'm done. I had a job, so I was like, I'm fine. And then my wife was like, hey, go to Guitar Center. Let's go buy you a guitar. You need to start playing again. I was like, okay. So we did it. And that night, David called me and said, hey, Rick Carter has an open mic every night at Bar 31, every Wednesday. And I'd never been to the bar, never been to this open mic. And I walk in and Trey's playing. And I was like, oh, man, these are good songs. And he was playing like Blame It On Me and Love the Leaving Out of You and Desert Loves the Rain, stuff like that.
That falsetto, baby.
Yeah. And that went away, Hard working does that to you.
Yes, it does.
But so I got up and played a few songs, and we started talking, and he was like, hey, man, I need a guitar player. You sing harmony? And I was like, yeah. So he called me the next day, and he got my number that night. And then the next day called me and was like, hey, you want a job? And I was like, sure. He was like, all right, we're going to have practice this weekend. So I go. And I practiced we practiced 2 times. And then they had a show like on Saturday. And I wasn't going to play at first. I was just going to practice those 2 days and then start the next week because he had like 65 songs, and I did not listen to country. So he added a few songs, that I sang and stuff, rock stuff. And then ended up that Saturday, he was like, hey, why don't you just come play this gig? So we did, and I mean, it was probably awful on my part.
Where was it?
It was, I sat in with him and played, about an hour of a set of an acoustic set with him. But it was at Southern Kitchen in Birmingham. It was a restaurant, so nobody's really coming there to hear you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's probably good. That's the night he picked for me to start because, I didn't start really playing guitar until like 3 years ago. So I was really shitty back then. I'm just kind of shitty right now, and I didn't dance around. I didn't drink then. I didn't move around. I didn't run around on stage right like an idiot like I do now. So it was a different Terry,
Yeah. When did that all start being like where you started really becoming the performer? Because you are like everybody. What's really cool about our show, and I know I might be a little biased because I'm a part of it all now, but like everybody's moving around. Like you, Mitch, Ben does his shit. Matt's back there. Anytime you guys have an opportunity to throw your middle fingers in the air, y'all are doing it. Like when did that become a thing?
So I started one night. Where was it? Georgia or Mississippi? Birmingham Southern. It was a college. We were playing this frat party, and I hadn't drank in 6 or 7 years. Like, I just used to get carried away. So I was like, I'm going to take a break from all the chemicals and drinking. And then one night I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to have, and I never even, Fireball wasn't around when I quit drinking. So I'd never had it. And so we played this frat party and I'm like, I'm going to drink tonight. And I start taking a shot and take another one and I get a buzz and that's when BDT, started running around, pouring beer on myself, just doing stupid shit. And then Trey was like, all right, that's what we're doing.
This is the show.
Yeah, this is, that's fun. And then it became like a coping mechanism because I'm really insecure on stage, especially if I don't have a beer or two.
See that to me, I have a tough I totally believe you, but like just watching you up there, you guys all look so confident when you're up there. But I don't know that I get up on a stage once every other week and I just introduce people for like a minute and a half, like maybe a total of 10 minutes. I'm up there, but like I don't quite get the do you still have that stage?
Oh yeah,
Does
yeah.
that still
it's
happen?
not. I'm not really. I'm scared. Like, I know the people are going to be fine because 90% of the people, they don't really know if I mess up. I don't want to let myself down or the band,
Yeah.
I don't want to, and if I do, and I'm thinking about it too much, if I'm sitting there and playing and I mess up, I think about it for 30 minutes and I'm like, man, then I mess up again because you're just overthinking it.
Oh yeah, me, I'm a classic.
Yeah, so, and I just don't want to let down the group, like, I don't want to, if I fuck up and make Matt fuck up or make Trey fuck, it's just irritating. So when I'm running around, it's kind of like they think I'm confident. So it kind of covers up and I don't worry about it as much.
Yeah. Now, when was the first night that you met Mitch Goshi? Because you and the Hoss Cat are like work wives in the van, on the bus, in the green room, hotels, and on stage. When did you and Mitch?
He started playing with us like 3 years ago, just like on cover gigs. And we had Josh McAvoy who played with us a lot, and he worked a lot, So Mitch started filling in here and there, and it just became the first night we went out and really partied. Didn't end well for him, but after that, we're party animals. We like to drink and have a good time and be loud and obnoxious and get on everybody's nerves when they're sober and trying to sleep. Go in hotel rooms and scream at people. And him and Matt, just for a while, every night after the show, it was just balls to the wall.
Three amigos.
Yeah. Matt, sometimes Matt gets a little crazy over there drinking.
Yeah.
But
No, you guys all do. That's why I have everybody. That's why I have everybody's location.
we just got to give Matt a hard time, okay?
Yeah, that's why I've got everybody's location minus Mitch because he's on the flip phone.
Oh, yeah, and I'm kind of pissed at you because the other night I tried to see what you were doing. And you stopped sharing your location with me.
You don't have mine. I have yours. Want me to share? I'll share it with you.
Yeah, I want to see
right fucking now, Terry.
Yeah,
I will do that. We got video proof of it.
Yeah.
I'm about to share my location.
This is the first
Terry
time I've been in
Adams.
front of a camera and hadn't had to get naked, so that's really nice.
Christ.
Y'all
All
got to
right.
pay me, motherfucker.
There we go. Let's see. Share my location indefinitely. There you go. Now watch. We're going to be out somewhere, and I'm going to be the one lost, and Terry's going to be like, oh, wait, I have Real's location.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm the professional one, and my phone's hidden. Okay? I've never done a podcast before. Never even been on one. No one invites me. So
Well, I'm happy to be the first.
I'm glad somebody canceled. I got to come in.
Hey, this is not Friendsgiving.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, right. What else? So for you two, you're a guy that's been, so everybody kind of has a stereotype of the South and Alabama. People don't really get out and around much. Like Matt Wayne hasn't been on an airplane.
Yeah.
You're somebody that's been very well traveled, been all over the place. For you, what's that been like? Let's talk about some other shit besides music, because you are like a Rasputin. Like you're one of the deepest thinkers I fucking know. You and Ryan Nelson both like to party and give off this just the vibe of like the wild, crazy, but deep conversations. Like you're a guy for that. So
yeah,
where was the first place you traveled outside of Alabama, outside of the South?
I mean, like growing up, I would go to the beach. But the beach is kind of like little New York.
Yeah.
In Florida, you go to South Florida. I had family in South Florida, and you would go there. And I always loved the thought of a big city when I was younger. And so I wanted to go places. I wanted to see others. I just always felt there was more than just this one thing. I didn't like the way, like, growing up in churches and stuff. I just didn't like the closed off, like, everyone just, here's how it is. You can't think outside of that. I just always felt there was more, so I started reading a lot and seeing places and visiting places. And when I got old enough and had money, we wanted to travel. I want my kids to see the world. I don't want them to, if they want to live here, that's fine, but I want them to say, hey, I want to leave and move somewhere.
Yeah.
I want them to chase, I don't care what it is, I want to support them.
It changes your perspective so much, too, when you see so much more. Like, I'm very different than what I was 3 years ago because I'm now living in a completely different place than where I grew up.
Yeah, and the joking thing, like I joke a lot with people, but most of that's just to cover up. Like I do it because I don't want to be serious.
Yeah.
But I love to read. Me and Mitch, we go to bookstores and stuff and pick out books and learn different language. We're trying to learn languages.
You guys are always practicing your Spanish.
Yeah, and Mitch is doing German now too.
Wow. Which
I've learned a good bit in several languages just to talk to people. But I like to read. Like to me, TV's just. I can't sit down and just watch it all the time because I feel like attention span's short. A book, you kind of make your own movie. You can put whatever face to whichever character and you learn something.
What was the last book you read?
Oh, man. Let's see. Last one I think I read was Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. I saw it on a girl's podcast that I watch, and she had read it. But I think that was the last one I read, and complete. I've started several, I have several going.
You get busy.
But I love documentaries too, or biographies, autobiographies of musicians and the wild people.
Yes, there are lots of wild people that have been out there. Speaking of wild, you talk about jokes. How long was your stand-up comedy thing going for? Because that's another thing a lot of people don't know about. At all. And then when people talk about when I tell people like, yeah, Terry used to do comedy, like, oh, it all makes sense now.
I've written a lot of stuff. I used to try to do the open mics, and I'd always get pretty much told to leave because I was offensive.
You were going too far outside their box.
Yeah, no one's really offended. There's 3 people offended, and they're somebody that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. They just want to be mad, on somebody's behalf. And I never cared because, to me, if I really felt that way about people, I wouldn't say it, But it was a joke. I like to tell jokes and shock factor. You know how I am. Shock value. Yes, all the most inappropriate joke at the inappropriate time.
Have you always been like that?
When I was young, I was always like that around my family. I would always do impressions and make fun of people.
Be that wild card.
But I got picked on a lot. Like when I was little, picked on how I was a skinny kid with big ears and big teeth and big feet, So I was like, well, I don't want to fight all these because I was scared to fight people when I was little, So like, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to fight them, so I'd just be like, I'll just take it. And then after a while, you just start, I was like, oh, I'm pretty fast at coming up with stuff, And then sometimes I get beat up anyway because you know how I get. I'd start cracking and just not stop for like 25 minutes, and then the dude just beat the shit out of me. So that was fun. But I've always liked to write jokes,
Who were some of your favorite? Were you like watching comedy growing up?
I love it.
Who were some of your like favorite people growing up? Because I know comedy back in the day, there were some inappropriate, wild motherfuckers back in the day.
Dude, I loved all of it. I like my dad used to listen to like these old redneck white dudes, like Jerry Clower and stuff. And I always thought it was stupid. Roy D. Mercer, the prank phone calls.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, but the ones he listened to were so corny. But then I found out like Richard Pryor and Chris Rock. I mean, I've seen Chris Rock, and he cracked on white people the whole time, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then now I love Theo Von, and Dave Chappelle's probably, to me, arguably the best comedian ever.
Yeah.
I just like the people that are intelligent. They're smart with their jokes, but they're so funny because they're true. Like they say, I think Bill Burr said, the only joke that's inappropriate is not one that's not funny.
Yeah.
If it's funny, no one cares.
Yeah, if it's funny, it's what's supposed to be there. I like Anthony Jeselnik. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I am.
He's fucked up, but I like him a lot.
I liked it when they would put him in a room and like roast the presidents and stuff.
Yeah. When he would like roast. I think he was on the Trump roast. He was on the
Hillary
Bieber roast.
Yeah,
the Hillary roast.
Yeah,
he was on a bunch.
And he's
of them.
great at it.
Yeah.
Nikki Glazer's great at roast too. She's hilarious.
She's really good. And then the one guy I don't think's really good at roast, just because I think he's so corny, is that Jeff Ross guy. I'm not a huge fan. It got old for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jeff Ross. I think he's funny, but I like the ones that are just brutal.
Yeah.
The people that try to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're there because they are your friends. It's like you got to be able. That's the big thing about having a sense of humor, and that's an important thing for us being on the road.
Oh,
you get butthurt. You can't be in our
If
band.
you're easily offended, do not be around me.
Yeah, well, do not. Well, it's just how
anybody. Trey will give you a hard time. Ben will dad joke the shit out of you. Matt here's been on a roll lately.
Yeah,
he's been saying some funny stuff. Mitch, I like his jokes because most of the time people don't even get them until like 45 minutes later
because they're so deep.
He thinks about it.
Fucking smart motherfucker.
One of the funniest little fuckers in Nashville is Trey Bonner, though.
Yes. Now, when did you first meet him? Did you meet him
years ago?
Did you meet him the same night? So we had Bonner on our last episode, and he had talked about the 65 South Fest. And I guess Trey was playing that, which I would assume at that point you were playing with Trey, because this was a few years ago. And he was down there with Jasper, and that's Murphy, and all of you guys, all the big Alabama, now everybody's family. But I would assume it was that night, probably at Zydeco or in the Zydeco parking lot or something.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I was trashed at Zydeco.
I would imagine so.
But Lane gets me pretty hammered when I go there.
Yeah.
Because I never really have that much money, so usually if I go somewhere like Lane's like, here, Terry, drink some more.
Yeah.
And ever since we met Bonner, man, he's just been like a little brother, Yeah, he's probably my most favorite person in Nashville.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He brightens up your day, and he works his fucking ass off.
And he's the most loving person.
Yes, agreed.
He gives, if he's your friend, he's there.
Yeah.
So, he's funny though. God, he's funny.
What's been one of your favorite Trey Bonner moments?
When he says, like, one night he was giggling and stuff, and said to it like a girl. We were talking about, girls and stuff. He was like, that girl don't want to hang out with me. I fuck like the government.
I think I remember.
Yeah, I lost it.
I think I was there. I was in
Ben Miller literally in his phone. He has a list
of Bonnerisms.
He just saves them. But everybody in the band has their time. Alex Cape's funny as shit too sometimes when he's not being a sassy little bitch. And I'll tell him that to his face too.
Oh boy. Oh man.
That little thick dude.
When did you first meet him? Because I know he's been in the picture
like
for a
6
minute
years
now,
ago. Yeah. The first time I met him, I went to his warehouse and stuff. Oh, like one of the first times I met him, and we went to his warehouse, and he was peeing on the side of a truck, and Trey walks by and says, "Hey man, nice dick." I was like, "Do we know him?" He was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, that's my manager," and you're like, "Oh."
Yeah. But it's funny because Dick down in Dallas wasn't surprising to any of us because we know Trey, But like he has all these serious songs.
Yeah.
But that's all. He's also a jokester, He says off the wall shit.
I think an important part in today's just society in general, with the way things are, is you got to have a give a fuck meter. Mm-hmm. You got to still care. You got to want to do shit. You got to be motivated.
Yeah.
But your give a fuck meter, I think, has to be at a certain point. to be to really, and I think people kind of appreciate that now because it is authenticity.
I think people feel what you feel.
Yeah.
On stage. Like, we don't go out, we don't run around and act like idiots because we're trying to get you into it. We enjoy what we do. Like, not many people get to go out and play to big crowds and tour and do festivals and get paid to play music.
Over 130 shows in a year, because today's December 3rd, so December 4th was the States. December 4th or 5th was that Statesboro show.
Oh, yeah, I remember
that was Trey's birthday.
Yep, December 5th, Trey's birthday. We played those 2 days in a row where you were shitting in people's houses. You said that, you told that story.
Yes,
that was great. That
told
was the
that
first
last
time I met
one,
you.
and then Barrel House we went to the next night. And that was one of my favorite Bonner moments. drunk girl steps through the merch bin. Jesus fucking Christ!
I like the night you had one day, COVID, and Bonner sold merch, and then when he got done, he was like, "I'm the king of fucking merch."
Yeah, dude, you talk about getting in your head and stuff. That was not my fondest moment. Shout out to Wild Greg, one of our favorite club owners out there.
Wild Greg.
Yeah. Something else too, that has to do with, again, the past year. So you guys have been playing with Trey forever, for a long, long time now. And you guys have played all around the state of Alabama, through tipped into Mississippi, Georgia, gone kind of wherever they pay you to go. And now in one calendar year, you've sold out Zydeco. You've gotten to play Avondale, which probably was never even a thought.
We played there once, and there was like 7.5 people if you squinted your eyes.
But was that an opening slot? Was that like a cover slot? Was that like inside the brewery?
I mean, we played
or what?
originals. It was out on that same stage, but it was like a benefit to raise money for something.
So it wasn't like a headline show. And then we've got coming up in actually it'll be like a week and a half after this, when this episode drops, Iron City headlining. Like,
oh, man.
To think, for you being a Birmingham guy, like what does that mean to you? And to be somebody that's been ride or die with TL for a long time, like what does that feel like to do? Headline sell out Zydeco, headline I believe close to sell out for the capacity restrictions, Avondale, and now to have the name that's going to say Trey Lewis on the sign at Iron City. What's that feel like?
It's great. I think it's going to be surreal. I think this is probably going to be our most favorite show we've played. I mean, we don't know. We're not there yet, but I really think the energy is going to be just your home. You know, you want to prove to these people like that. You want to make it worth their while. You know, me and Trey played at Iron City a lot, opening for people. You know, we've opened for Chris Jansen, David. I mean, we've opened for tons of people there, but we've never been, the headliner.
Yeah, and just to hit all those milestones in 1 year.
To
have done Rock the South in a further on slot. And obviously, weather didn't help us out there, and then to do the Auburn Rodeo, like to Soul Kitchen, I mean, Galettes you guys had done before, but like all these different places in Alabama now, not having to do the cover thing, like playing original music for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and people were receiving it. That's the coolest thing,
dude. Having a fucking guitar pick, like with your fucking face and your acronym
people singing
on it.
a song you wrote back to.
Yes, yeah, and that's another thing too. So one of my favorite moments, I think a lot of people's favorite moments in the show, and especially Iron City, that's going to be
that's
wild.
Gonna be emotional.
There was a night, McElwain could tell you, there was the night I thought I lost my keys.
Which one?
One of the first nights. This was Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I thought I lost my keys that night. We went to play disc golf. We got pals. All that shit. That was the night. That was the day I threw your frisbee into the tree.
Yeah, you did do that.
and the night we had an interesting time with some of the folks there after the show. But that night, I remember I was like side stage where the merch was set up. And I remember McElwain looking over me. He came up to me after the show. I was like, bro, I saw you getting emotional. I was like, yeah, this is fucking cool during a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Is when, because people, that was one of the nights. I mean, people sing it back. There's at least like a handful that sing it back every night. But that night, people were.
Everybody.
That night in Bristol, Tennessee, for whatever reason, I know you guys had never been there, people were singing the fuck out of that song in the front row. And it was just it was a moment where I was like, this means a lot. Like, I'm emotional for you guys getting to live out your dream and seeing it firsthand. So that night's going to be really cool. So Whole Lot of Nothing comes out in the beginning, right as the pandemic hits, 2020. When was that ride to Auburn when you guys wrote that? Like, how did that come to be from your side of things?
I mean, I'd been thinking like these feelings, about the music, and it felt like a dead end because we were working. I mean, we were working hard. You know, we didn't turn down gigs. We played. There were times me and Trey would play 10 shows in 5 or 6 days. You know, couldn't talk. We were like, we're going to take every opportunity and do it. And people would promise us something. You know, they'd be like, well, if you'll do this, this, and this for practically nothing, or this, this, and this for this, then we'll give you a bigger stage. And Matt was there too. Like, they're like, do this and we'll give you this. And it never happened. Like, well, we can't do that, you know. So I was angry and fed up. But then also we were like, man, we can get out. Like, we can do this, you know. Like, so it started with these negative feelings of working your ass off. And everybody has that. I mean, everybody wants to be a victim sometimes in life. And, I mean, not saying it was right, but when I started that song, it was like, I'm angry and I don't feel like I'm being treated fair. So I told Trey, I called him up. I was like, hey, man, I got this. Or when we were headed to Auburn to play Sky Bar, I was like, what do you think about this? And he was like, yeah, man.
What were the first lines that you had thought of? Was it the Whole Lot of Nothing concept? Or
it was just the verse. Like, I had ideas for the verses, like of the radio station plays the same 10 songs, just talking about you can't get in because they have like this. I know they don't have payola, but they still have it in a way.
There's a system. Trust me, I deal with it.
Yeah,
there's a system.
If you don't have the money or the label or the
it's
publishing, it's hard to get in.
It can become a cool kid.
It's hard to even get rights and stuff sometimes because they're like, well, we want you to be affiliated, you know.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that. The radio station plays the same 10 songs. A country boy's hard living, though he's never left home. You know, it's talking about people that were not really country boys or just, it's a gimmick kind of thing. And then me and Trey got together. That day we brainstormed, you know, riding, and then we got together at his brother's house, Josh, and we're like, you know, let's write this. So we wrote it. And then Trey said, hey, he called me and like the next day, and he was like, hey, man, I got this idea about, you know, so we talked about making it positive, and he came up with that. And so, yeah, it was just my whole thing was I was angry, you know, so I was like, there's a whole lot. And then it wasn't a knock on anybody, but you would see people that you played with, coming up with, playing stadiums and stuff, and you're playing to a empty bar with a leaking roof. Like one night we literally played where water was dropping on our heads, you know, so you'd play that to like 6 people, and you're like, man, can we just get something? Please tell me it pays off because we're getting older, you know. But looking back, a lot of it was just, I mean, I hate to say jealousy, but it was. Like, you see other people doing things from my perspective.
Well, I feel like that's a huge part of, and it's interesting. Again, I know I always talk about Alabama, and I'm not an Alabamian or whatever, but it is a scene with a lot of traffic. You guys have a lot of fucking music down there.
There's a lot of great writers.
Yeah, there's great writers that nobody has any idea about because they're just stuck.
There's so many here now.
Yeah.
That I've seen for years.
I mean, last night we were sitting at Red Door.
Yeah.
Fuck Red Door. We were sitting at Red Door, and
they've been good to me.
They've been very good to me recently. But we were sitting around the table, and half the people at the table, I didn't even know who some of those guys were, but they were all from Alabama. Yeah. You guys were talking about that place in Gadsden.
Oh, yeah.
I think guys played like all these, like, but you guys were talking about. You guys have all played the same gigs in the same shitholes, the same frat parties. Like there's that community like where everybody's kind of doing that same thing, but at the same time, you can get stuck.
You can but I still love it. I love when you're doing a lot of them a year, you get tired of it.
Yeah.
But looking back, like sometimes I'll go play gigs now. Like just say, hey, you need a guitar player. It wasn't you enjoy playing 4 hours straight with no breaks, but it's just that's what you did to get to where you are.
Yeah.
You know, so you appreciate it. And
yeah.
Me, Mitch, Matt, we still like to do it, you know, occasionally.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just love what you do so much that any excuse to do it, you're going to do it.
Those people, we have several that come to our shows still. Those people you find out like the diehards.
Oh, yeah.
And we've met you even doing this, like Randy and them, like
Jason.
Yeah, that dude will drive anywhere.
That dude drove from fucking Oklahoma City
to
I was like, Birmingham.
And he knew how to fit in, too, because he told me that girl was his aunt.
Yeah.
And it was really his girlfriend. I said, oh, you trying to be from Alabama, motherfucker?
wearing the Fuck Matt for Real shirt, too, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole other thing. But has there been a moment where you were like, this is fucking crazy while we've been out on the road?
It took a while because, like, the first
2 gigs were Statesboro and
Savannah, but like the
which
first several months were just so busy. You know, we didn't have time to stop. And then you're in Texas, like June and July, we didn't go home.
Yeah.
So you didn't really have time to sit back and say. I think it kicked in for me was Avondale. Like 2 years ago, we couldn't have put 40 people in there. You know, then you show up and it's packed, and we got a bus, you know.
Yeah.
And you show up, and then people are singing songs. You know, Trey wrote or I wrote, or we co-wrote, and they're singing them back to you loud as you are. And I'm like, holy shit! Like Trey came over one part, and we just hugged each other. You know,
I remember that,
dude.
yeah.
This is fucking crazy. Because I had a teacher in like 10th grade. They asked everybody, 9th or 10th grade, they asked everyone, "What are you gonna do?" And there's all these girls. You know, one of them, they were going to be doctors or veterinarians. And I remember one couldn't even spell veterinarian, but she she was going to be one. I don't know what she is now. I think she's a single mother, but shout out to single moms. Trey Bonner will take care of you. But they were all saying these things. Like, to me, being a heart surgeon was outlandish.
Yeah.
And I stood up and said I was going to be a songwriter. And my teacher straight up told me in front of the whole class, she was like, no one's going to pay you to do that. So, like, when Dick down in Dallas went gold and shit, I, like, tagged them all in a post. I was like, I think you were wrong. You owe me an apology.
Did you get an apology?
I don't know. They untagged themselves. Like, they removed the tag and blocked me, but I didn't give a shit.
Jeez.
So, yeah, that was a cool moment. And I don't really mean that. Like, I love single mothers and teachers. But no, the tour bus, like, that was cool. Like, my son Gibson, he doesn't care about music. Like, he doesn't care that I play. Even though his name's Gibson, but he asked me after he came to Florida and got on the bus, and he was like, when we got done, he said, "Daddy, do you think anybody else's dad in my school has a tour bus?" I was like, probably not. Maybe a meth lab, an RV, but not a tour bus.
Maybe an old version of what we're riding in.
Yeah.
But with cooking some stuff. Oh boy. But yeah, dude, no, that's freaking awesome, and like it's been really cool. Like, is there a favorite place that you've been that you didn't know it was going to be cool, but like a show you remember sticks out?
I'm going to tell you right now, Maryland probably wasn't, because I liked the place, but I about died.
Yeah, that bowl tough.
Kicked the shit out of me.
That bowl was tough. We spent a lot of money that night. We had a good time. Cancun Cantina.
Yeah, I'm the only person that'll spend that much money and have a free tab. I don't know how I did that, but
Very giving person.
yeah, I'm friendly when I'm drunk. But man,
like thinking back, like because we've been to a lot of fucking places.
I think probably I really enjoyed Auburn Rodeo. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
You saved that you know that kid. We gave him a guitar, and that drunk old man took it.
Yeah, what? That's second time you've done that on tour? Third?
Yeah, I've given 3 away. One was to a friend of ours, you know. But yeah, I think it's just fun.
What is it about giving the guitar to the kids?
When I was little, I used to get really irritated because, you know, we had what we needed growing up, but we didn't have the money to just buy nice guitars. You know, they couldn't. That was something that had to be special, years of work, you know. And my family always found a way to make sure I had instruments, you know, to practice on. But I would see Garth Brooks smash $3,000 guitars. And it would piss me off because I was a kid at home going, I'd love to have that.
Yeah.
Whether they're props or not, you know, you don't know that at home. So I was like, if I'm ever in the position to give kids shit, then I'm going to do it. Well, I won't do it if I'm drinking either, though. Like, if it's a party show, I'm not going to do it because they'll be like, oh, he was drunk. But
if there's a kid in the front row at a rodeo or a mud bog or a club show.
When you see a kid, like a 9 or 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid sitting there all night, just singing every word, like they're just watching.
You know they're going to remember this moment for a long time.
To me, you have that opportunity to change something in them. If they have a bad childhood, you know, if they're abused, if they're not having a good home life, you can do something simple where they're like, hey, maybe I can do something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not anything cool. Like, I don't want credit for it. Like, I wish somebody would sponsor me, like, even if it wasn't just to give away guitars. You know, like, hey, man, let's just give a bunch of kids guitars.
Yeah.
And hopefully no 73-year-old drunk person's behind them and snatches them.
Yeah, that drove me a little nuts too when that happened. I made sure. I
Yeah,
was like,
you did.
I got right out there.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, it doesn't look good if I just freaking dive bomb off stage into this dude because, I got a little bit of a temper. So,
yes.
But I was like, well, and then I saw you. You're like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's the kids. I was like, oh, he's tour managering the shit out of this show.
Had to straighten out Bubba. But when was the first time you came to Nashville, Tennessee?
Ooh.
How old were you?
I mean,
It's not a far drive from Birmingham.
No, it's supposed to be 3 hours, but dude, when you get to Coleman and Huntsville, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just stop. It's like
looking at the NASA rocket.
Yeah, it's an hour and 23 minutes, and then stop traffic, and then you get up there, and there's nothing there. It's like, oh wow, look at the rest area with a rocket at it. That's nice. But I started coming in. I mean, I've been here, when I was younger, but I started coming up here like 6 or 7, no, more than that, about 8 or 9 years ago. And then I met some people, and then I'd played this thing at Work Play and met Tracy, and she started putting me on rights and writers rounds here years ago. And I did that for a while and started playing those and writing, but I just kind of got burnt out for a little while. So I stopped and just went back to doing it in Birmingham, and then now it's fresh again. It's fun. I met really cool writers here. And I come up. You've put me on your rounds.
Yeah.
You just meet when you don't know anyone. It's kind of hard just to come here and say, "Hey, you gonna write with me?" And they're like, "Who?"
But I feel like a guy like you doesn't have a hard time doing that. Maybe you did when you first started coming here, but now it's like you're not afraid to talk to anybody.
I'll talk to anybody.
Social fucking butterfly. You're like that little fat thing from Bug's Life that becomes the butterfly and starts flying.
Yeah, dude. I'd probably be a ugly ass butterfly, but I'd try it probably.
You'd be a fucking moth.
Oh, dude.
Be a jumbo-sized moth.
I'd be one of them cockroaches.
What animal would you be in the animal kingdom?
Man.
Well, honestly, and then what would you want to be? Like, honestly,
Okay.
what do you think you are?
Oh, dude, I would be. What do I look like? I'd probably be like a giraffe mixed like one of them skinny ass long haired dogs. But if I could pick,
yeah, if you could be a fucking animal, what would you be, Terry?
I'd probably be a rat. They fuck. I'm just kidding. I'd be a tiger.
Live on Joe Exotics.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a white tiger though. I'd be an orange tiger.
Orange tiger, Bengal tiger.
Yeah. I would be one of those and like probably be owned by Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Do you ever see going back to the comedy thing? You ever see what the hell's his name? Cat Williams.
Yeah.
You ever see his bit on the tiger in San Francisco?
Yeah. I wasn't ever really a fan, especially when he fought like that 13-year-old kid. I was like, dude, I'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, because he's about the size of the 13-year-old
Oh, my dick,
kid.
Yeah. Can I say that on here?
You can say whatever.
Sorry,
you want,
Whaletale.
You can say whatever. You can say whatever you want.
They just pulled all their sponsorship.
No. If they were gonna pull sponsorships for ridiculous shit, we would.
I'm drinking Trailside Light beer right now.
Trailside Light beer. There you go.
They won't give me a sponsorship. Oh, we got video now.
No, yeah, we do have video. What's your What was I gonna say? Because you'll pretty much like drink anything. You'll accept shots and drinks and all. What's your like? I don't want to fucking drink this.
Tequila.
Tequila.
We have a video where we played at Tin Roof one night. And this girl kept bringing me tequila, and I grabbed the cup and I was like, I'm not fucking drinking that. And Trey left it in the. It makes me do stupid shit. Like, I mean, I'll do stupid shit.
I was gonna say
I'll do that sober, but. No, me and Ryan Nelson, what did we drink one night? We drank something and ended up naked in Florida jumping in bushes for no reason. So
I remember hearing about that. I wasn't there to witness.
yeah, well, we were in our underwear. But yeah, I think we were drinking it might have been tequila.
Nelson drinks tequila.
I think that's what he was giving me. Ryan wants me to party with him on his terms, but when I want him to party with me, he goes to bed. So I'm really kind of angry at him right now. He's lucky he writes good songs.
Yeah. Did you first meet him through all this?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you had not known Ryan Nelson?
No, everybody told me for like 3 years, like, dude, you got to hang out with Ryan. You and Ryan Nelson would be just fire and gasoline. And I finally met him, and they were right.
Yeah.
Last time we got drunk together, we beat each other up outside the bus.
I remember that.
We were bare knuckle boxing and kicking.
I remember that. And him and Alex were throwing the football 70 yards.
Yeah, we beat each other up. And then, 2 weeks ago, me and Mitch beat each other up.
You guys just wrestled. I have that one on
Yeah,
video.
we just wrestled. That was
there for
terrible.
one.
That was not my proudest moment.
No, it was not a place to be proud. It was a stupid shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. Strip club parking lot. Can I say that on here?
You can say whatever you want, Terry.
I didn't know what's that company called, the FCC? What do they do?
I don't have an FCC. That's
Okay.
why I don't. That's why I like this over radio. When I was doing radio, I was introducing like soccer mom songs. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, today's hits, yesterday's favorites, Magic 98.3. Here's the latest song from Bruno fucking Mars. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. Talk to.
I used to jack off to that channel.
Really?
I think.
I'm proud.
Yeah,
Makes
I
me
used
feel good.
Oh, dude, if I was gonna New York, I know you're from New York.
Yeah. What have your New York experiences been like? Because a lot of people shit on you. Hell,
I
shit on
love New York.
See, I like New York more now. I finally got to go out in the city as an adult. Because you go when you're field trip, you don't appreciate it. I used to joke with my mom, why can't the city just float away to England? They got all the taxes, they got all the fucking people, all the fucking crime. Why can't the city just float away? And then we're New York State.
I can see that living there, growing up there.
But then you go down here, you leave it, and then you realize why people say it's the greatest city out
Dude,
there.
I love it. I went there 3 years ago in April, and we went for a while. And I stayed in Manhattan. I went to Catskills. I just loved everything about it. I like the Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
It's like Alabama, but up north
Yeah.
with snow.
Yes.
They have really country things there, and then they have and I like the party, like the big. You know how I am. I like the bars, I like the restaurants, I like the party life. Not a huge fan of Chicago, but New York's people say fuck New York and California all the time. I like both of those places.
Yeah.
So
Just because they're different.
well, New York has every station you could want, so they don't care about play the top 40. They love going to a local little dive bar and hearing somebody write songs.
Yeah, I've been to comedy clubs in New York.
They love comedy.
I've been to the Comedy Cellar. I've been to Dangerfields. I went to Dangerfields after my prom night because what we used to do, and I didn't drink at all in high school, which is probably why I developed the problem because I went balls to the wall when I started. But anyway, we would go into the city. We'd take party buses.
Yeah.
There'd be idiot parents that would take the liabilities of putting a bunch of 16 and 17-year-old kids, guys and girls, on these buses with fucking stripper poles and
Shit,
everything.
you know somebody's getting finger jammed on that
Dude,
thing.
I was there. I saw it. It was wild.
You're knuckle deep.
I wasn't. I plead the fifth. But but we'd go into the city and we'd do there was one night somebody's mom or dad or they got together. They rented out a whole fucking nightclub, a whole section of the nightclub, and they put all of us in there. But we would go into the city and just do that. So that was my only experience until recently.
Yeah.
I partied with Chris and got into Brooklyn, gone to Chinatown, which
Yeah.
was funny. I got my $20 Rolex. I'll show you my $20 Rolex.
When we went to New York, my sister went with me, and it's funny because they stereotype. I'm going to tell you how they stereotype. We walk by, my sister does buy, she likes the Louis Vuitton purses. She buys the fancy shit, but the real ones. So we go out in the street, and one of the guys out there in Chinatown was like, hey, white man. And I turn around, he was like, I sell your sister this Gucci purse. I sell you cocaine. I was like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah, they'll do that.
I was like, well, I hope the cocaine's not like the Gucci purse because that shit's fake.
Yeah.
It's
Dude.
$18.
Yeah, dude. There's some wild shit up there, man. It's crazy. Now, what do you think? I mean, where's a place that we haven't done a show yet that you want to go and do?
I want to go to New England. I want to go to New York. I want to go to California. I want to go to Canada.
Canada would be really cool. I've never been to Canada. You've been out of the country,
I haven't
right?
been to Canada, though. Yeah, I've been out of the country, but I haven't been to Canada.
See, I've never been out of the country.
Yeah,
period.
my favorite place ever is Jamaica.
Really?
Love it.
Just
The food.
chill.
The food, the people, I'd go on the beach, and I bought a guitar while I was there. I also got stung by a stingray. I stepped on one on my honeymoon. And I had to go to a little Jamaican doctor hospital thing. They gave me some sketchy dope, but I took it. Just kidding. I don't do the drugs. But Jamaica was fun because you go to the beach and they would try to teach me Bob Marley songs if I would teach them Sweet Home Alabama. So it's I'm sure they didn't want to be playing Bob Marley songs and I didn't want to play Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I loved it. The food was great. The people were nice. TV was a little sketchy. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They just had low budget rap videos all night long.
Oh boy.
But we stayed in a resort, so it was really nice, But I like traveling, man. I want to just go to all the big cities. Like we need to go to Boston. We haven't been to Boston yet. And the song, that's like the best line. You know, we got a good demographic up there.
Yeah.
Some lovely men.
Denver would be cool.
Oh, you just want to go to Denver, dude, for one reason. You don't care about music.
No, I think Denver to me it's a fast growing city like Nashville. I like mountains.
And you like
places.
deep throat and joints.
And I love my Trailside. Yeah. So it's like,
do they sell Trailside in Denver?
No, they don't need it.
Well, I mean, you can take it up there. Look, dude, they sponsor you. Let's take this shit up there.
We can do it. I mean, they do tour packages.
Yeah, don't cock block Trailside.
They package. They handle Job's touring.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they give him tour packages.
Well, that's fitting.
Yeah, exactly.
I like old Job.
Getting high. But speaking of things we like, your new project. Do we have a title for it? That's kind of why we got you on here, because it'd be a fun fucking conversation.
I'm probably going to name it somebody else's name and put a pretty girl on the album cover. I haven't decided which girl I'm going to name it yet, but...
no, is there a song that realistically, are some of these songs that I know? Because, a lot of the songs you play at rounds are songs that...
Yeah, I'm doing, Like Loving You Ain't Wrong, that's one. And the dude today on the fucking piano, Gabe Klein. Oh... I don't even know how you get that good at any instrument. Like him, the guys playing on this thing, I don't know how you get that good, but they killed it. We're doing Maybe There. You might have heard that. We're doing Rainbow's End.
You're redoing some stuff that you've had?
I'm redoing two. I'm redoing Cocaine and Jesus and
thank God.
Rainbow's End.
Yeah, I'm not saying it sounded shitty in the recording.
No, De Blasio, we got to do it for him.
My stepdad does love that song.
Yeah, not the shitty De Blasio, the good one.
Yeah, the true, real
The real De Blasio. We're doing, what else are we doing? We're doing Good Last Name. It's actually, we're probably going to have a special guest on that one. It's a song I wrote when my dad died, and it was talking about growing up, and he pretty much just said, you don't need money and fame. You just need to work hard and do your thing. And he was like, I can't give you any money, but I've given you a good last name. So it's up to you to do what you want with it.
Yeah.
So I wrote that, and Trey likes it a lot. So we're going to do some cool things. There's some cool people that are going to play on it and sing on it. Like I said, the guitar players, Ben Miller and Dave Elder.
Yeah.
And
the guitar me.
Gideon Boley they're just insane guitar players.
They know what they're doing, man. I'm very excited to hear it all and see it all as it kind of develops, and the process of you getting your own shit out there is really cool, and it's a lot of fucking fun, dude.
It is. I just got to get better at a lot of things, like putting shit online, doing the social media stuff.
Your thing is you don't like bullshit. You don't like commercialism, and that's what a lot of that is. I mean, it's important, though.
It is important. I've learned that recently.
It is very important.
And you got to play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm happy if there's 10 people that listen to my stuff. I'm happy and grateful for those 10 people, But I would love to have a lot of followers or listeners, it would mean a lot, but it'll get there. I think, you keep working and just be genuine and it'll work.
Yeah.
But I'm happy about it.
What's something you would tell 5 years ago, Terry? So you're 35?
I'm 35, yeah.
So 30-year-old Terry playing shit bar gigs with Mr. McElwain over here and Mr. Trey Lewis. What would you tell yourself?
Don't take yourself so seriously and play and learn because you want to. Don't try to play like other people. I spent so long being like, I'm not like this guy, or I need to be like this guy, when really you don't. Just be your fucking self. Like, compete with yourself each night, not... Ben smokes my ass on guitar. I'm not trying to compete with Ben. I just want to be better on Saturday than I was on Friday.
Yeah,
and just always learn. Learn.
Well, again, it's everybody has their part. It's a whole show. It's not just guys playing in the background for an artist. Like, you guys all bring your own little parts to the table. Ben does his thing on guitar. You do your thing on guitar. Beginning of the show, when Long List of X's is going and you're freaking holding the thing up, just going. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking night. I'm like, I hope he does that. I hope Ben fucking slides his fingers across the fretboard.
Let me tell you something right quick.
That's
Fuck
one of my
Ben
favorites.
Miller. All right, I do this little party trick and I hold my guitar up and start playing it. Well, this asshole one night decides, he looks over at me and smiles and throws a pick. Ben throws a pick if you're doing a good job, okay?
Yeah.
So if you don't get any picks that night,
it's like a treat.
You're getting some damn show notes, okay? Let me tell you something. You're getting a show note, okay? If he throws a pick at you, you're like, all right, motherfucker, I made it tonight. But Ben, hold my guitar up. I'm playing on my head. Ben turns his guitar like upside down and around and starts fretting it like a piano.
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
And I was like, you piece of shit. I went home and tried to do it secretly. Yeah, that ain't happening.
No, but again, it's the energy and the headbang. Another one of my favorite parts of the show, and usually says about a show you don't like, is the end. When you guys are rocking out, I very much enjoy watching you guys.
I got to go to the chiropractor now because of that ending of the show. My neck.
Mitch, I'm sure, is all fucked up. I'm sure Matt's all fucked up. Ben used to probably headbang with his long hair, so now he just does it with his short thing he's got.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him to grow his hair back out, but he won't do it.
Imagine all three of you guys with long ass hair. Then we
See,
put
Ben Miller
and Trey in wigs.
You'll probably listen to this in 8 weeks, but if you had long hair again, we could really put on a show. It's you holding me back, man. Nah.
Oh, man.
I love Ben, dude. He's funny. His dad jokes are hilarious.
Yeah.
He said a lot of them today.
I'm sure he did. You guys had how many hours together?
We got there at 9. We left at 7. So it's a 10-hour day.
Yeah, lots of dad jokes in 10 hours. That's like a half a ride from Texas.
Dude, let me tell you what. I sang so bad today. Luckily, today wasn't the vocal day. Matt took me out last night, like on a date, and he got me drunk.
I know he did.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
And then I had to hang out with Boston Mike. That dude is cool as shit.
Boston Mike is, I don't want to like him because I'm
New
Matt
York.
from New York, and he's Boston Mike.
Oh, I'm sitting here staring at this Yankee bullshit on the wall.
Yeah, well, dude, you gotta like the what we got. So that poster right there, that's actually or that bridge right there.
Mm-hmm.
What's kind of funny about that, now that I'm like recognizing it more, that's similar to the view from my brother's apartment.
Oh,
that
really?
He has.
I love that bridge.
Yeah,
I've walked that.
Yeah, I believe it's either the Triborough, it's the Manhattan. It's one of those bridges. But I found that when I first moved to town, I was living in Spring Hill.
Yeah.
And somebody threw that in the. I was sitting out at the dumpsters on my first night. I took the trash out to be a good new roommate.
Threw that away.
Yeah, somebody had that sitting by the dumpster, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm taking that."
I gotta
like,
say
that's
though,
New York.
Muscadines album looks cool as shit.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Is that one of the rare ones?
That's
few
one of
prints?
that's one of the vinyls. Yeah, that's one of the.
So you took that when some fan could have had that. Wasn't there only like 300
they
of them?
gave that. They say, Matt, thanks for being a champion.
Dude, Charlie,
for
take
us."
that shit back, dude. Give it to a fan. This guy, y'all got better burial now anyway.
Shout out to Brad Curry. Yeah, then we got the Whiskey Jam thing. We got Morgan, old Wallen. That was right before all the crazy shit happened with him. That was right as the double album came out. Nikki T took me as his +1. I had to put
Dude, what was that? 38 weeks at number 1? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the most played album of any genre this year.
Wow.
Which is pretty fucking cool.
Oh, Taylor Swift's about to fuck that up.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
see.
just kidding.
I don't know.
I don't even listen to Spotify.
No?
I try. No, I don't pay for it. Like every time they try to give me a bunch of damn commercials.
So how do you consume your music?
On YouTube or something.
On YouTube?
Yeah, I'll pirate it. I'm just kidding.
I used to when I was in
I do have a Spotify, but I have if you don't pay for it.
Oh no, not premium Spotify.
Yeah,
It's
they
horrible.
just play like some
my mom has Spotify.
Celtic music for no reason.
My mom has Spotify at her phone, and she doesn't pay for premium. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I don't know. And I'm trying to pull up you. She's like, show me some of your friends, and I can't even play songs. What it does is you pull up the artist, and you hit play, and it just shuffles.
Play somebody like them.
Yeah. And it's
I do have somebody's Spotify. I don't know whose I have, but I'm logged into someone's.
probably Mitch's.
No, Mitch. Let me tell you something about Mitch. He's a funny guy, but if Mitch doesn't want you to do something, he's not going to do it just because people want him to. He doesn't do peer pressure. I mean, well, sometimes, but we'll leave that out of here.
Oh man, so the project, you hoping to have it out by next year?
Oh, dude, yeah.
When are we thinking?
I don't know. We got to do the vocals. I really don't know. Ben's going to tell me tomorrow. This is the first thing I've ever recorded that I've actually been excited about, though. Those guys, not even for me, just the way they played. Matt slept today during the same song, okay? It was like 3 hours apart. He fell asleep during one song, and then like 3 hours later, they were adding piano or organ or something, steel guitar, and he fell asleep again. So I'm almost like about to take that shit off. Like, How do you go to sleep twice on one song? I bored him that much.
Maybe it's soothing him. I don't know. Maybe was he drinking Miller Lite?
No, this is the first time I drank.
Well, not you. I'm talking about him.
No, he wasn't drinking. We were driving.
Yeah.
We were driving. We don't drink and drive. Matt has 17 DUIs.
Yeah, I know. We got to figure out something else when we go to Canada.
Oh, yeah. They're not. He is not getting into Canada. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, he's gonna have to play Zoom.
Trey Bonner's gonna play drums.
Oh, jeez.
Merch and drum king.
Oh, dude, he'll be the best.
That's what I'm saying. He'll just step up clutch. Trey Bonner's like that utility player in baseball. He's like Jimmy Lyrics or like
Trey Bonner's actually got a really good voice and he's a good writer.
I know him. He doesn't fucking.
But if you ask him, he.
You know how many times I've tried to get that little guy to play a writer's round?
Oh, dude, I'll put him in my fucking pocket and bring him up there.
How many times I have tried to be like, Trey Bonner, come here. Like, because there was that one night he played, I forget if it was like he played it off his phone. I think he might have played it on guitar. It was actually in, I think it was in Pensacola.
Yeah.
Or it was that weekend that we had, it was one of the bus weekends. So
I remember when he was.
No, it was Avondale or Coyote Joe's or one of the. It was.
For real, weekend. You've done named every show we played this year. Just let's give it up, okay, and say you did it.
Well, he did it. Yeah.
He did it, and he's good. He just wrote a song with Ryan Nelson that's really good.
Yeah.
Ryan played it the other night on my guitar, so I'm famous as fuck now. He tuned it to standard too, and I didn't even know how to play it anymore. I don't do that. I can't sing that high, so I have to write stuff really low.
Yeah, you can. You can sing a lot higher than Ryan Nelson can.
No, dude.
Yeah, you can.
Ryan's just got that character in his voice.
He does have. He has character all over.
Like the other night when he walked out on stage with the Ron DeSantis flag, that was great.
It was wild.
I loved it. That guy's a character.
I'm glad he made it back for Friends in Low Places.
Yeah,
that was a close call.
He was out there doing the Lord's work.
That was a stressful 15 minutes for me.
Oh, dude, it didn't last 15
minutes. No, it did last 15 minutes
it?
Because it happened 2 songs before. I was like, you better get your ass back here. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, bro.
Oh, Ryan, you dirty motherfucker.
And then I got on the talk back and told you guys Ryan ain't going to make it. And you guys were all giggling about where he was. And then he showed back up right as you guys started, right as Trey started talking.
He came in there giggling.
And then Trey was like, didn't think you were going to make it, bud.
I'll probably show up drunk.
Do you think if we were to put him up for mayor, it could actually get like some votes?
Well, look at his fucking competition. Yeah, he'll win.
That'd be great.
I don't even think he's old enough.
How old do you have to be mayor?
I don't know. I think he's like a year shy.
Well, maybe we just got to keep working on it.
Oh, Ryan, yeah. Everybody likes Ryan.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know of anybody that hates Ryan Nelson.
No, I'm not even going to mention the mayor's name right now.
That's something you and him have in common. Like, you guys and Trey Bonner, like, you guys brighten up the rooms.
Well, I don't know about all that.
I think so. Yeah,
Well,
I always enjoy hanging out with you guys.
You didn't one night. One night, you were mad at me.
Well, when it's like being in the car with your family for hours at a time, and sometimes you butt heads with your older brother, your little brother, your crazy uncle, your cousin brother thing. I don't know.
Like Matt McElwain tells everybody, he's like, dude, if you let Terry know a joke bothers you, he's going to crack on you the whole damn day.
Yeah. But then the sun will set and the sun will rise.
But I'm also fine with people cracking on me, too.
Yes, and that's my thing is I'm used to growing up with ball busting. I'll dish it back to you.
Oh, I like your brother. I think your brother now, like, he's ripped. That motherfucker's like Forrest Gump. He just runs for no reason.
Oh, my little brother?
Oh, yeah, I think he should come in and beat the shit out of you. He said you used to beat the hell out of him for no reason.
Well, the thing was, I would try to beat him up. I'd get a couple good shots, and then he'd run, and he was a cross-country kid, and I'm not built for speed or endurance.
Oh, no, you're built for, like, endurance of eating shit or something.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down, smoke weed, eat a bunch of shit, and cry, that's Burrell. He'll just cry for no reason. Oh, he'll have a breakup, not even have a girlfriend. I'm just kidding, Burrell.
Fuck. God damn it! You want to play something?
No,
you don't want to play
I've been
anything?
singing all day, and they wouldn't like it anyway. I just want them to hear it when the real musicians are playing it.
Okay. Well, where can people go to find you? You got to plug real quick. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit too.
Go ahead.
How big is it?
My bank account? Right now I got like $7.08.
No. Not the fucking bank account that somebody drained in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Don't fucking give out your phone to someone. That's your own damn fault.
That's what happens. I'm not going to say Trey's joke.
Yeah, I know. We'll say it off the mic.
Yeah.
But how big? When did BDT become a thing?
One night in Arkansas, I got drunk as shit, and Matt and Trey were fucking with me. Like, for 2 days. They just kept like, I was pissing in a stall. Trey would hold his phone over the stall. Matt never does this, but that week he did because he was drunk. They just kept messing with me, so I just said, oh, hell with it. I got butt naked and ran and started chasing Matt around. I didn't know Trey was Snapchatting it to everybody on his list. And it went out, and that's where Big Dick Terry came from.
How many years ago was that?
4.
Okay, so it's been a thing for a
It was
minute.
so bad, like, either I had people adding me for fun, like they liked the idea of it, and then I had half the people were like, that's so offensive. I'm like, I didn't fucking send it. So I had to delete my old Snapchat and make another one. But Trey has stocked it back up, too. It shows.
Well, yeah, I mean, now it's part of the show.
It is.
Terry Adams, too, if you want to know why. Christ.
I'm about to start an OnlyFans, too. I already got one, but it's under a fake name just so I can troll people. But I used to have a Tinder back when we played cover shows, and it was this sexy friend. It wasn't me. I just put my friend on there because he was ripped.
Yes, you just put it. You just were
so
joking.
when we had a show, I wanted people
joking.
to show up. So I would just everybody I matched with, I would say, "Hey, I'm going to be at so and so tonight."
When they're coming looking,
yeah,
for
they
this
would
guy.
show up, and he wasn't there. They would just be looking around. You'd watch them, and I'm like, "Look at this dumb motherfucker." Then they banned my account.
That sounds.
But TikTok does the same thing to me. They ban everything I do.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the best social media for you? Because I've seen you get flagged on Twitter too. Like, where the fuck does a guy like you go? Like, how are you going to?
Yeah, if you get flagged on Twitter, you're doing something.
How are you? Yeah, you're the president of the United States. But how the hell are you going to promote this album? Like, what are you going to do?
I'm going to promote it on Backpage and Craigslist and Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, I'm probably going to just make my friends with a lot of followers promote it, really. But I got Terry Adams Music on everything. And on Twitter, it's Terry Adams Music with a K because they deleted my old account with a C. So I had to put a K on the end.
And then if they delete this one, you should do Terry Adams Music, but with a Z instead of an S.
Yeah,
music.
like I just
change little things.
I only get on Twitter when I'm really drunk.
I know.
Yeah.
I've
mainly troll Matt McKinney.
I think I kind of taught you some Twitter stuff one day.
I didn't know. I didn't have one.
And I barely even go on Twitter. I say stupid shit on Twitter.
Yeah, you
too.
did. And I get on there. My favorite thing to do is mess with Matt McKinney on there. Because I can mess with Matt because he's a great writer.
So this is going to be dropping, obviously, on Monday. Okay. Big game tomorrow. How bad are you going to lose?
Well, I'm not playing, so I won't lose at all. I am an Alabama fan by default. But Georgia's probably going to beat the shit out of them.
See, I kind of want to bet $5 on Alabama.
I don't even have $5, dude. I ain't betting you shit, okay?
No.
I don't have a podcast with sponsors.
I'm saying in the goddamn sports books, like I want to throw $5 on. I'm going to throw like $20 on Georgia.
Dude, just bet whoever McKinney bets for, bet against. That's you'll win.
He might bet Alabama because there was one day I went to brunch with him. And I was like, we had both just started kind of getting into the sports gambling. Yeah. He's obviously gone a little bit further with it than I have.
He bets on curling.
He does.
And badminton.
Yeah, maybe not that, but
I don't know.
But women's basketball for sure. But yeah. So I told him, I'm like, hey, like Georgia's gonna win today, right? And he's like, yeah, that looked pretty good. And I'm like, I'm gonna throw some money on him. He's like, don't fucking bet on Georgia. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, don't bet on Georgia, you lose money. I'm like, oh, you're just fucking me. I bet on Georgia and they fucking lost. They got upset by somebody. So it's like, I don't know if I want to bet. Like, he might not bet on Georgia. He loves to bet. So he might bet on Alabama.
He might
just for Georgia to win.
Who knows what that guy will do? Okay, who knows what McKinney will do?
You know what he did see? He did see Santa fucking. He did see Mama fucking Santa Claus.
Oh, dude, that's great. He sent it to me yesterday, and I laughed. Him and Joy Bath wrote that.
Yeah, he sent it to us. Great. He sent it to us last night on my
and he sent it to me after that too.
My,
and I was like,
my 5-star Uber ride home for you.
Oh, thank you, dude.
Dropping you off in fucking God knows where.
Oh, that was fucking rough.
That was weird.
But whatever.
Party was weird, man.
Yeah, it wasn't, dude. I'd rather go to jail.
I don't say that. We need you. That's part of my job. Well, if we're off the clock right now, but when we're out there, part of my job is making sure you and Hosscat stay all right.
Stay with the Lord.
Yeah, we'll stay with the Lord. And it's funny, y'all are always the first ones at the band call.
We are.
If you don't go to sleep, you can't be late.
That's right.
There's a method to the madness. All right, man. So Terry Adams Music, Terry Adams 2 on Snapchat, Terry Adams Music on Facebook. You got a website still?
Probably not. I don't use that thing. No, let's not do websites. I'm going to build a new one.
You're going to build a new one?
I'm going to probably get Bonner to build me one soon.
Hell yeah. Bonner's Builders. There you go.
That's right.
Fuck Bob the Builder. We got Bonner the Builder.
Oh, Bonner's beaver busting.
Oh, Christ. But no, dude, for real, thank you for coming on and doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, it was awesome to have you. And like I said, I know we give each other a hard time a lot, but for real, like being out with you guys has been freaking awesome, and getting to know you, dude, and having you on our rounds and all that. People love having you on the rounds because like people at Live Oak love when you're there because you give something different. You're not just up there playing a song. You're playing some songs in between some comedy. And when you're up there with like our buddy Murphy Elmore and you're
Curious George.
Love
he pushed me up against the wall. It was weird.
Love you, Murphy. But anyway, y'all, make sure to check out our boy BDT Terry Adams on all the socials. The album, it will be out sometime next year. They're in the process of recording it. I can't wait to hear some of the stems, some of the demos that come from it, and all that. And you follow him on social media. You follow him on Snapchat. Maybe you find out just how big it is, So make sure you guys keep an eye on Terry Adams. New music coming. He's got some songs up there. Let's get those 15 monthly listeners up to like 40 or 50.
Fuck yeah.
Make sure you guys check out Whaletale Media as well, Trailside CBD, promo code ITR, and our friends at Saxman Studios. This will be actually, I think, one of our last episodes for the year. We might have another one or two coming. So, but thank you guys as always for listening, watching. 5 stars only. Shout out to Whaletale for the graphics. Shout out to Mr. Matt McElwain, who I believe is an impressive 6 or 7 Miller Lights deep in the span of an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
He is not driving. He's sleeping on that fucking pull-out couch tonight.
That's the only pull-out he's doing. Fuck Matt Burrell.
This has been the In the Round Podcast. Love you guys. Thank you.